Hello and happy Friday, everybody. If you caught last week's video, you saw the harvest of the peanuts that I grew this year, and I mentioned in that video that I was planning on roasting those. So today I thought I would share with you the process that I used to brine and roast my homegrown peanuts. I started with approximately 2 pounds of peanuts that I had harvested and dried. So I'm not actually sure how this would work with green peanuts straight out of the garden. So if anyone has brined and roasted green peanuts, I'd love to hear from you. But I did dry these first. And to start the process, I filled a large stock pot with 16 cups of water. I brought that to a boil and then added 1 cup of salt and stirred it until it was completely dissolved. Next, I removed the pot from heat and dumped in all of my peanuts. I stirred them all well to make sure that they all got thoroughly coated in that brine solution. Next, I set a mixing bowl filled with water on top of the peanuts to keep them all weighted down and submerged in that brine. You could use a pie plate or basically anything else heavy enough to keep the peanuts submerged underneath the brine. You'll want to let the peanuts soak for at least 6 hours. I actually let mine go overnight because I wanted to ensure that they were plenty salty. And you can stir them once or twice during the soaking period just to ensure that everything is getting evenly soaked in the brine. After the peanuts were done soaking, I dumped them all into a colander and let all of the brine drain off. And then the peanuts needed to dry. So again, using the dehydrator was the easiest option for me. I just dumped all the peanuts in a single layer on drying racks, popped them in the dehydrator, and dried them for about 4 hours on medium heat. Alternately, if you don't have a dehydrator, you could let them air dry at room temperature or put a fan on them to speed up that process, but that could take anywhere from 2 to 3 days, kind of depending on what your humidity in your home is. Once the peanuts are dry, you'll want the shells to be nice and hard and crunchy, and that little skin or membrane that surrounds the peanuts themselves to be dry and papery. They're ready for roasting. I placed the peanuts on a baking sheet in a single layer and popped them into a preheated 350-degree Fahrenheit oven. Roasting will typically take anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes, just kind of depending on how roasty you want your peanuts to end up. And I just stirred them a couple times during the roasting process. And after about 10 minutes, I was checking them every 5 minutes or so, just pulling a peanut out, breaking it open, giving it a taste test to see if they were as done as I wanted. Now keep in mind that peanuts will continue to roast a little bit after you pull them out of the oven and as they cool down. So ideally you want to pull them from the oven just before they're at that perfect level of roastiness. Once they're roasted to your liking, pull them out of the oven, let them cool completely, and then they can be stored in an airtight container. Now that is if you can keep from eating them all first. They can be stored in an airtight container for about a month or so, but any longer than that, I recommend popping them in the fridge or the freezer for long-term storage. Alternately, you can shell them and grind them into homemade peanut butter. Now you guys will have to excuse me while I have myself a little snack here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.